Well, here in Alaska, we're finally starting to warm up a bit, and I can just feel that camping season is right around the corner, which means that we are finally working on sprucing up our motorhome. We purchased this at the beginning of last summer because we wanted an RV for while we were living in Alaska, and they are much cheaper to purchase in the lower 48 and drive them up here than they are to buy here. Obviously, the market is very inflated in Alaska because it's hard to get them here. It's a Maverick Georgie boy, and I think it's a 2005. So this thing is very old, but what I liked about it was it didn't look that old on the outside. So that was a plus, but I mean, you could definitely see signs of wear and tear along it. Structurally and the engine and driving capabilities have all worked great. This thing trekked us up the Alcan just fine. We did have some hiccups along the way, plenty of them, but they were more with the generator and the batteries, things like that. But on the inside, we have come across some problems. So I'm going to show you what my husband has been working on to fix it and my contribution. Because the thing is, we're not sure what our plans are with this thing. We have really enjoyed it, but we have quickly learned that RV life means constant maintenance and repairs, and we're leaning towards maybe wanting to get something newer with less problems. But as my neighbor has reminded me, who is a avid lifelong RVer, there's always going to be problems even with a new rig. So there's that. So here are some of the updates and fixes that we have currently been working on, and let's take a little tour, shall we? When you walk in, so here's our door. We have a pantry space here, all the control panels. We've got our refrigerator. Do we dare open this and see if it's gotten nasty over the winter? Okay, yay. It's fine. Do we think the same for the freezer? It's fine. That's a good thing. You never know if we're gonna find mold in there or something. So over here is our very small kitchen area. This cabinet is broken and needs to be fixed. Got a little window there, some drawers. We've got our stove here, oven, and a drawer down here. That's kind of on the fritz. Microwave. And then you also have this little prep table. After the tour, I'll show you the things that we are working on to spruce this baby up. This is our couch that jackknifes flat into a bed, so we always have a kid sleeping here. There's also seat belts, so they sit here when we travel. The table is taken down right now because I have been doing some painting, but there is a table here, cushions, and you can sit 4 people here, and we have the seat belts there too, which is nice. So sometimes the kids sit here when we're traveling also. The table is very short and my legs hit the top of the table, so I don't do well sitting here, but it's great for the kids. Okay, I am so cold in here. I need to go turn on my heater, but on with the tour. Here is the driving area. Comfortable seats. The only complaint I have about the passenger seat is it backs right up to the back of the table, so you can't recline or anything. So that's not been great. Up here is the little loft area, and we usually sleep 2 kids up here. I think it's the size of a queen or maybe a full, I don't know. We usually put 2 kids up here. But here is where we had leaks. And so my husband is currently working on fixing this. It has been a very rough job, but he's had lots of help from our friends next door who are very, savvy in RVs, who've been helping us fix it. We're getting there. It's been a work in progress. Coming back here, we have a bathroom in this room. I need a new mirror because the mirror fell off, but vent up there, bathroom. Shower is in here, and then here is the bedroom, you could say. So right now this slide is out. It is nice that this has a slide because it makes it more spacious back here. This is a queen size bed. The carpet is pretty old and nasty. I would like that replaced, but I don't know if that'll happen. We got a window, and then we've got storage cabinets in here. My father-in-law installed a TV in here for us. We've got drawers and another large cabinet in here. Oh, hey. But yeah, this is it. This is the magic home on wheels. The size has been great for our family. I don't feel like I need anything bigger than this. One thing that I would ideally like is a bunk space for the kids. They're just getting a little too big to share that top overhead bed area. The table can come down and fold into a bed, which we might have to start doing for our next trip, but it's just a pain to take the huge heavy table off and on every time when you want to make up the bed. So I've seen some other campers where they'll have like two little bunks right here that kids could sleep in. That would be nice. That's something that I would look for in a new one. It got really cold in here, so I turned on my space heater. When I've been working in here, I've just been blowing this thing on me and it puts off a lot of heat and is great. This thing is very old itself, but I don't want to have to turn on the whole rig's heater. And so I'm sorry you're gonna hear the humming of that in the background because I'm chilly. So here are the things that I have been working on. Well, I showed you what Nate's been working on. He's doing all the like fix it, repair stuff. He's gonna fix the cabinet and other little things. My job has been painting. Whoever owned this before did a very, very poor job painting this place. I honestly think that they slapped primer all over it and never finished the job because, let me show you, I've painted most of it. You'll see these walls here, I have repainted, and all of the weird paint stuff, I swear that's not from me, that was from the previous people who did that. We need some new trim pieces, but I repainted this wall, these walls. They look so much better than they did before. It's really spruced this place up. But you'll see there's stuff like holes and like patchwork that we're just gonna not worry about for the time being. But I'll take you back here and show you the original paint when we bought it. Looked like this. But honestly, even worse in the front of the motorhome. There was so much like of other colors coming through. Doesn't it look like that's just like a primer that they threw up and then never finished painting? I don't know. But it's looked pretty bad. So this new paint that I've been doing is making it look so much more refreshed and nicer. So it's been worth it. It's been a lot of work, but definitely worth it. So the last area I have to paint is this back area behind the bed. And then I do need to paint this wall around the door. And then I'm done with the white paint, I think. I'm not touching the bathroom. That would be just annoying to paint and no one really sees the bathroom unless you're using it. So I'm not gonna do that. The next thing I'm gonna do to spruce this place up is painting the cabinets, which I know is not going to be an easy feat, but I think it'll be worth it. I mean, these mirrors could even use a lot of work, but I have just not loved the blue color that's in here. It's not terrible, but I don't know. I just don't love it. And it's worse out here. Like, just wasn't painted amazingly. And I don't know. I don't love the blue. I feel like it could use a refresh. Now, I need help choosing a paint color. And it's gonna be hard because I'm choosing my paint color today, so I'm not gonna be able to take your opinions and, you know, see if you got any better ideas than I do, because this is gonna go live on YouTube, you know, a few days from now. Here is the swatch that I did. I'm thinking I want green cabinets. I just love green, and if we're outdoors, like, I would love to bring the green from the outdoors inside in here. I feel like it's gonna be bright enough in here already from the like creamy white walls that I did, and then to have a green cabinet I think would be really pretty. I'm just trying to decide what color green. This is more of like a sagey green. I picked up a sample of this just to like see the color, and now that it's up here, I'm not loving it. I'm considering doing more of a darker like hunter green. Couldn't that be pretty? I think it could look really nice. Because then it still just has kind of that woodsy, you know, camping vibe with the hunter green. And I don't think it would read any darker than the navy is that's in here, so I'm not worried about it looking too dark. I think it would look good. I don't know. Tell me what you think. and we'll just have to see what I decide on and give you a big reveal. There's just so much cabinetry to paint. All of this, and then the stuff in there. So it might take me a while. And then the last upgrade that we are gonna make in here, and I think that's it, are the window covers. The window coverings in this room never worked very well, so we almost always had them down. The one behind the couch was broken. There were curtains hung in the loft area that were not blackout, so it was still very light in here when we're trying to sleep at night, because life in Alaska, it doesn't get dark. So you need blackout shades. And so anyway, we're gonna get new blackout pull down curtains for the windows, and I'm gonna make blackout curtains to put over in the loft area. I could save some money by just making my own curtains for up there, and then the kids can just pull them closed when they're going to bed and then open them when they're not, and I can make them like a cute fabric, because the curtain rods are still there and they're just ones that slide across. So I think I'll just leave that and make my own. Oh, and for behind the sink and behind the stove, I have like a faux backsplash wallpaper that I'm gonna put up here that I think is gonna look really cute. It'll look kind of like tile, but it's not tile. And then this, I don't know what this weird stuff is that they did on the countertop. I don't know if this is paint. It might be paint. I think I gotta take care of this too, because this just looks so bad. The name of the color that I'm using is called Country White. It's a Glidden paint, and I feel like it's looked really nice. It's not a true bright white, it's more of a muted white, and I really like it. I am someone who does not mind painting. I mean, it's not my favorite task to do, but I don't mind it. I find it fairly relaxing, and I just turn on a podcast and get in the zone and go. Fun fact about me, I'm a true crime junkie. I love listening to those types of podcasts. Right now, I'm listening to a trial live streamed on YouTube, and I am just so wrapped up in it, and like it just entertains me while I get my painting done. So yeah, now you know me a little better. I like listening to criminal trials on YouTube. Funny, surprising, that's, you know, my entertainment. All right, I think so far I'm successful in not getting paint on my shirt. I'm wearing my painting pants, but I didn't put on my painting shirt. So I'm just hoping I'm not getting paint on myself. But here is how it looks after one coat. All of my walls have definitely required 2 coats, some even 3, but we're just gonna stick with 2. I'm not worried about getting splotches like on the cabinets since I'm gonna be repainting those anyway, but we're making good progress here. So as I mentioned before, our dilemma is whether or not to just keep this rig or sell it and get something better. I've been very grateful that we have had this one. It's been really fun, and I hope we can take it on some fun adventures this summer. But also, it might be better to get it off our hands before any worse things happen to it. But I don't know, everything's fixable and it's been fine. But either way, all of this work that we're putting into it will help increase the value and make it more appealable to potential buyers, versus if they just got it the way we got it, it would not be as appealing. So either way, if we keep it, I'm gonna enjoy the updates and things that we did to make it look nice. If we sell it, someone's gonna appreciate that we took the time and effort to do this, and it'll make it more appealing. At least that's the goal. I'm thinking we're gonna head to Lowe's and finalize a paint color for these cabinets, because then I could at least get them started. I know I need a couple of paintbrushes also. Well, I just need a cabinet roller and maybe one new paintbrush for cutting in, but I shouldn't need that much. Hopefully I can find a color I like. I'm not gonna buy another sample. Whatever I decide on, I'm just gonna get. And I hope it looks okay. So I realized that tonight I'm gonna be right near a Lowe's. So instead of driving down to Anchorage to go to Lowe's to get paint, I'm just gonna go tonight while I'm out there. So let's go get this second coat of the white done and see how we're looking after that. And I'm gonna listen to my trial while I paint. My legs are sore from sitting in that position for so long. I am happy to say that my back has been feeling great. It's not 100%, but I would say like 90% better. I think I've just been giving it a lot of rest, and drinking that bone broth I think has really helped. So I'm happy to report that my back is doing much better. And all the painting that I've done in here has not aggravated it. So I need to knock on wood that I'm not jinxing myself, but so far I'm okay. Here is the final paint. I mean, it just looks so much better. Obviously, I'm gonna fix all the paint that got on the window frame. The paint on the cabinets is fine because that's gonna be redone. But all in all, it just feels so much more refreshed in here. So much nicer. Now that I feel like I have all of my interior walls done, we can move on to the cabinet paint. So let's go head to Lowe's. We'll check out what they have. Well, we're gonna head to Lowe's in a few hours. But for you, it'll be the snap of a second. We'll see what color I end up with. I'm still unsure. Let's go see if we can pick out a cabinet color, shall we? And then I'll have to show it to you. I'm sometimes really bad at making decisions. So the Lowe's paint guy highly suggested I use a stain blocking bonding primer, and I'm gonna take his advice and do that. So this job is gonna take me longer than I expected it to, but it's better to do it right than, you know, do it wrong and have it chip and scratch and all of that. So I've got this. Now to choose a green. The original green I had is more kind of like this color. I'm thinking more of a dark. But I don't want it to be like crazy green. I don't know. I kind of like this top one, arugula.
What about courtyard?
Courtyard's not bad. Ooh, I kind of like courtyard.
Although I also like the brown on the top of this one.
I ain't doing brown, but...
What about a dark purple?
So they have the shades that I need here that I think will work. They're rather expensive, which is annoying, but it'll make it look much nicer to have new shades up there. So I'm gonna get these another time though, once like everything's done and we're ready for the finishing touches. Here's the final color. I'll have to show you on the wall how it actually looks, not on the wall, on the cabinet, a little bit later on. Well, that was very successful. I'm grateful that the paint guy talked me into doing it the right way to make it last and not just slapping paint on there and hoping for the best. So that's what I sometimes do. Will you push that? Since it's just a motorhome, I didn't want to go all out on it. Now, if this was going to be in my house, yes, I for sure would do it the right way. But still, it should be done the right way and it'll be better in the long run and last longer and not chip away and be gross. So let's hope it's worth the extra work and money. Hey you guys, it is the next day. I had a long day of substitute teaching, but I'm dying to do a little swatch of the green on the cabinets just so that I can see what it looks like. I really hope I like it and that I don't hate it. Now when I do the actual painting, it's gonna be over the white base coat that I'm gonna do, but I just wanna see what it looks like to make sure I didn't make a mistake picking this color. The color is called, I think it was called Courtyard is the name of the green that I chose. It's pretty green, but I think I like it. Well, hopefully. I'm just using this old brush and we're just gonna do a little swatchy swatch. Where should I do it? I'm just gonna do it up here. Okay, so here's my green. I think I like it. It's more on the woodsy side than what that green is. That green I think is just too bright for like camping, right? I think the green's gonna look good. I hope. Do you think I made a bad choice? I don't love the blue that's in here. So, you know, we're gonna make it green. And I think it's gonna be pretty once it's like all done and nice. I have no idea how long this project is gonna take me. So it might be a while before you get a full RV reveal. I just need more time, but we've been so busy lately. I feel like once school's out, things will calm down and I'll be able to dedicate more time to projects like this and my YouTube channel. We have our neighborhood garage sale this weekend. So we're gonna be selling candy and all that fun stuff. So I'm going to take some footage of the sale, show you if we are successful or not, how much money we make on our freeze-dried Skittles that we're going to sell. Unfortunately, we're not going to be selling any Starbursts like my husband tried to make for the sale, because, you know, we saw that was quite the fail. To no fault of his own, but it's just going to be a Skittles sale, and that's going to be just fine. So make sure you're subscribed so you could see the update of this beast when we finally get it done. Oh, my door's opening back there. I thought I could hear the wind more. Thanks so much for being here. Remember when I normally say freeze dry today, you secure your tomorrow, but we didn't freeze dry today. So remember, when you spruce up your RV, you secure your camping future. Bye, friends.